No penalties even when deputies share a woman's photographs after an illegal phone search. Government agents have quote unquote qualified immunity for 2019 actions. Let's look at this, Chad. Let's look at this right now. Let's look at this. Those are funny numbers in my chat right now. Yep, they can qualify D's nuts. That's a good take. In 2019, Haley Olsen's life in Brown County, Oregon was upended when people in town appeared to know about private nude photos that Olsen kept on her phone. Worse, some of the people appeared to have seen and shared the photos. The incident all had some relationship with the local sheriff's department where Olsen was dating one of the deputies. We love the blue wall of silence. We do, chat. Also, this is coming from Ars Technica, by the way. What was going on? Olsen has recently taken a trip out of state. In Oregon, she ran a marijuana dispensary, which was legal there. But on her trip in January, she was stopped by Idaho State Police and arrested for marijuana possession. As part of that arrest, the Idaho State Police wanted to search her cell phone and asked if she would sign an Idaho, welcome in, Peasant John, an Idaho State Police voluntary consent to search. She agreed, and they just scanned her entire phone. Chat. Oh my God, why? Wait, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Why is that not working? That's not right. Never consent to a search. Never consent to a search, chat. That is rule number 1. Don't consent to a search. Tell the officers, no, I don't consent to any searches. Yes, it is that time, Jade. It is that time, Rivet. It is that time, Matt. Chat, can everyone copy paste what time it is right now? Just put it in chat what time it is. If it's a day that ends in Y, it's time to SCFU. Exactly. Why would you do that? You know, because you're a woman who's been pulled over by the Idaho State Police and you're scared. Oh, that's right, Lost. That's right. That's exactly the time. The Idaho charges against Olsen were later dropped. Even though she was not prosecuted in Idaho and had committed no illegal activity in Oregon, she came to suspect that her cell phone image, Ren, thank you for the resubscription,
you're not a clown.
had somehow been shared across state lines and given to her local sheriff's office. Olsen filed a public data request with Grant County trying to figure out who had her data and who had been talking about it. She read the reply the same day that Jim Carpenter, who was then Grant County attorney and county prosecutor. Carpenter explained that Glenn Palmer, the Grant County sheriff, had asked Carpenter to obtain, if possible, a copy of the cell phone image from the Idaho State Police. Palmer claimed to be concerned that the deputy whom Olsen was dating might somehow be implicated in illegal activity depicted on her phone. Are you serious? Are you serious? Palmer had first tried to obtain this directly from the Idaho trooper in charge of the case, was told no, which is why he reached out to Carpenter. Palmer learned about the arrest is unclear, but also told the Idaho police she was dating a sheriff's deputy in Oregon. Somehow word spread back to the department in Grant County. Yeah. They called up the sheriff's deputy in Oregon and said, hey, we just pulled over your little girlfriend. Carpenter requested the cell phone image from the Idaho prosecutor in charge of the case, and his request letter said the image will only be used for internal purposes. It will not be disseminated to any other agencies or third parties. Well, that was a lie. First mistake, dating a cop. Chat, type 1 if you would never date a cop. Let's just get everyone to talk about that right now. 1 if you'd never date a cop. 1 to the 1 to the 1 to the 1 to the 1. 1 spelled out. 1, but it's my 1. Internal purposes, LMAO. I'm black. Oh, Broth, my guy. I know you're black. But when Carpenter received the image in the mail and flash drive, he reached out to agents that looked through Olsen's data. Given that no actual crime in Oregon was being investigated, both agencies said no. Carpenter decided to look through the image itself using tools from the digital forensics company Celebrite. The image contained nude photos of her and the deputy she was dating, but no activity that was criminal in Oregon. So these cops just took this sensitive data that included nude photos and sent them to other cops. And then all the cops just started sharing it with each other. Allegedly, because, it was about who they were dating. Palmer would later say that Carpenter had twice offered him the chance to review the extraction. Carpenter said there were things on the cell phone that once you see them, you can't unsee them. Yeah, nude photos. People around town knew about the whole situation, even appeared to possess the pictures. Yeah, why would cops start sharing around photos of nude photos of, a sheriff's deputy and other police? That's crazy. So the case has been bouncing around through the court system for several years and recently landed before the Ninth Circuit, one step before the Supreme Court. The Ninth Circuit ruled that and lambasted the behavior of the Oregon authorities who looked at her data without a warrant. The mere fact that Olson had signed a voluntary search form in Idaho was besides the point. Olson's consent in Idaho did not extend to a search by a different law enforcement agency in another state. That's something that's really important. And let's just look at that really quickly. Let's look up the word search. The panel determined that constitutional methods may be helpful, how the Carpenter search infringed on Olson's Fourth Amendment rights. Yeah, so what happened, chat, is that even though she might have consented to the search in Idaho, the Idaho police then sending that data to the Oregon police, who then looked at it again, was a new search. The police can't just do whatever they want and send it to other government organizations once they have your data. That's, an unconstitutional search. But let's look at the qualified immunity. The panel next agreed with the district court that Carpenter was entitled to qualified immunity because Olson's right to be free from, the Oregon search was not clearly established at the time. Chat, when the government does it, the Carpenter was entitled to qualified immunity because any constitutional violation was not clearly established. Different state police, hence different case, right? Yes, and they didn't have any actual reason to do any investigation. There was no clear, legitimate reason for this. This almost seems to be basically just revenge porn. And then they just started sending these pictures around. Qualified immunity comes from the idea that the government should be insulated from the actions of the folks that are within it. Welcome in, Horatius. So even though, it's clear as dirt that this is, allegedly a revenge porn situation where Oregon police were told by Idaho police, we got all these nude photos of one of your officers and his little girlfriend. Welcome in, Leah. The Ninth Circuit said, yeah, it's probably, it was definitely illegal for them to do that, but it's not so illegal that the government can be held responsible for this, or the individual people can be held responsible for this. The court noted the case presents a troubling example of the intrusion on Fourth Amendment rights that occurred with respect to highly sensitive cell phone data, nudes. More specifically, the circumstances involve a law enforcement agency accessing highly sensitive cell phone data, nudes, from another jurisdiction in the absence of a warrant, consent, or even investigation. They literally just wanted to see the nudes, chat, and then they started distributing the nudes. Dangs, this is illegal, but this is a new kind of illegal, so you get a freebie.
Says you do.
Thank you for following Cool Career. Brigadier Bacon, that's literally the concept of qualified immunity. It wasn't clearly enough established that trying to get nudes from a different department off of a cell phone, which, was consensually given, is illegal. Whatever actually happened to Olson's data, the Oregon authorities had no right to look through it simply because the police chief was curious about it, or because he wanted to do a warrantless fishing expedition to see if one of his deputies was involved in anything nefarious. And Carpenter's search was highly irregular, the court noted, even by its own standards. The Ninth Circuit concluded the situation was, in fact, a violation of the Fourth Amendment, which, we just talked about. However, Carpenter was found to have qualified immunity from prosecution. This is, the Oregon man. For prosecution as a government employee, because although he violated Olson's Fourth Amendment rights, the law remained unclear in 2019 if you can just ask to get searched, nudes from another department because you want to look at them. This case was slightly more complicated than a garden variety warrantless search because Olson had voluntarily renounced some rights over in Idaho, and it was arguable at the time this might have extended to other searches of the cell phone images for other reasons. The Ninth Circuit issued clarifying guidance there, saying that further searches of cell phones for unrelated reasons do in fact require a warrant. So chat, don't worry. If this ever happens again, someone might be put on administrative leave with pay. And they probably won't go to jail. The Oregonian notes that the sheriff's deputy who Olson was dating was fired in 2019 after his arrest on alleged assault and sexual abuse complaints. But the deputy was acquitted on all charges. He then argued in a federal whistleblower complaint that Sheriff Palmer retaliated against him for reporting misconduct involving another sheriff's deputy. He eventually won a $1.3 million payout from the Grant County. Wait. So the only person who profited off these nudes was the cop who had his nudes on her cell phone, $1.3 million payout. Wait, so basically, the woman whose nudes were leaked, she gets nothing. The cop who she was dating, whose nudes were leaked, gets $1.3 million for admittedly unrelated reasons, but you know, the cops just keep on winning. Join a union, chat. Yes, join a union. All right, chat. What the actual fuck? True. That's actual fucking bullshit. It is actual fucking bullshit. Nice, nice stick, bro. Nice stick. Honest question. Can you use that case to make a simultaneous civil case under the same logic? I believe that was likely a civil case, Mr. Scoot. But they would be covered by qualified immunity. So, you know, that's the whole point of qualified immunity. It's going to be extending to them for all of their actions.